guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be testing out all of the e.l.f. products that I have here with you guys. I bought these e.l.f. makeup products the day e.l.f. was launched on Nykaa and the subsequent day. So on the first day, they had an offer for buy two and get one product free. So I bought 4 products on that day. So I placed 2 orders on that day separately to get 2 products for free. So that's something you can do when such offers are going on. Place your orders separately if you want to get more free products. And the other day also I placed an order, and on that day the products were on a discounted price and there was no buy two or get one offer going on. They were all on a discount, so I also placed an order on the second day as well. So I did save up a lot of money while doing my purchase. I was dying to do this video for you guys as soon as I received the products, but then Pongal came and we were all celebrating the festival, so now it's over and I immediately sat down to film this video with you guys. And also, don't judge me guys, yes, I'm wearing my PJs. I wanted to make this video a bit more casual and friendly, so I wanted to keep it super simple and easy for today's video. So that's why I'm just wearing my PJs and I'm feeling quite comfortable as well, so don't judge me on that. So this is the look that I created using all e.l.f. makeup products in today's video, and if you want to know which products worked very well and which did not, then make sure to continue watching this video until the end. So guys, I've gotten a box full of e.l.f. makeup products. Let's see how they perform. I'm doing this with you guys. I just bought these products and kept it aside for this video, so it's gonna be like a first impressions on screen. So the first product that I'm going to try out is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and the shade is Universal Sheer. I think there is one more shade available in the same primer. And by the way, the price of each of the products will be mentioned on the screen somewhere, so don't worry about it. So the primer was priced above 1000 rupees, which I found it to be a little bit on the expensive side. Since this is an affordable brand, I didn't expect a primer to be priced over 1000 rupees. So let's see how this one performs. The Putty Primer is supposed to be the dupe of the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I have used the Tatcha one once in my lifetime, so I know how that one feels and performs. I was really blown away with the result that the Tatcha primer gave, but let's see how this one feels and performs. So I'm just gonna take, oh wow, that is super silky. I thought it's going to be a little bit more solid, but it's very soft. So yeah, I'm just taking so much of the product. So I'm just gonna apply that on the pores. And it feels very creamy. The Tatcha one doesn't feel this creamy. That one feels more of a silicone based primer, but this one feels very creamy to me. So this is how the primer looks. It has spilled in the pores slightly, not too much, but this definitely didn't give the result that the Tatcha one gives. That one is like mind-blowing. It just blurs out all of your pore in once, and this one feels more of a hydrating primer rather than a mattifying and pore-filling primer on me personally. I do have a lot of pores on my cheeks and I can still see the pores open, so it definitely didn't feel them entirely, maybe just a tiny bit. So I'm really not blown away by the primer right now, but let's just see how the base product sits on the skin on top of this primer in the end. On the packaging, the primer does say that it gives a poreless effect, but I really don't see it right now that much. So far I feel this is just like a regular primer. I think my Nykaa Prep Me Up primer fills in the pores way better than this one does, and it's double the price of the Nykaa Prep Me Up primer. So let's see how the base looks in the end. So before going in with the foundation, I wanted to show you another product from e.l.f. This is their Total Face Sponge. So it says you can use it wet or dry, so I'm definitely gonna use the sponge wet because that's how I use my sponges. There was also another sponge, a white one. It was quite elongated and that's what most of the YouTubers were using. But sadly, when I went to place my order, that one was already sold out and only this one was available. And this one also seemed promising to me. So let's just see how this one works. So far, the sponge already feels super soft even when it's dry. So I'm guessing this would feel really soft once it's wet. So I'm just gonna quickly wet the sponge and get back to you. So this is how the sponge has become once it is run under water. It has definitely doubled up in size. Can you see how big this looks? Feels very bouncy and soft and squishy, so I'm guessing this would blend the product really well. So let's just see how this one works. I picked up their Flawless Satin Foundation and the shade I picked up is called Nutmeg. It was extremely hard to judge the foundation shade online because when I went to see online reviews on the shades that I thought would match me were super confusing. So I really could not judge the foundation properly, and finally I went for the shade Nutmeg, and it seems like it is quite dark for me, so that's what happened while choosing the shade on Nykaa. I was very confused between caramel, chai and nutmeg. Caramel and chai seemed too light online, so I thought nutmeg would match me. I hope it's not too dark, but let's just see how this works. So I'm gonna take one pump of this, and by the way, yes, this foundation does have a pump, which is amazing. So I'm just gonna dot the foundation on this side first, and I'm just gonna check if this shade works or not. Also doing a decent job in blending the foundation. The sponge did soak up a little bit of the foundation, but I think it's not too drastic, so it's fine. So I think it's a huge plus for the sponge. It is definitely doing a great job in blending the foundation very well. The foundation feels very light on the skin, and it has given me some light to buildable medium coverage. Definitely not full, it is definitely on the sheerer side. So this one would be great as an everyday foundation. So I'm just gonna try and build up the foundation on the cheek and around my mouth. So that's how the foundation looks with the second layer, and I think the foundation is starting to get darker, which means it is oxidizing on my skin. So I don't know, I'm confused about this foundation. So definitely the foundation has become a bit more darker on me when I try to layer up the foundation. So it is a shade darker than my own complexion. When I was trying to get a foundation matched online, the shade Maple was suggested to me on the foundation.com website, but unfortunately that shade was not available on the Nykaa website. I definitely think the Nutmeg shade a bit darker on my complexion. It's not the perfect match on me. So yeah, that's how I feel about the color match. And now coming to the finish of the foundation, the finish is very pretty. It's not too matte, it's not too dewy, it's in between, very skin-like finish, and it doesn't give too much of that poreless effect. It is very natural, and it has covered up my pigmentation on the face decently. It looks very natural. I think I really like the finish of the foundation. So yeah, that's how the foundation looks. It is definitely not matte, so I think it is suitable for all skin type. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte, it's right in between. The next product is the 16-Hour Camo Concealer, and the shade that I picked up was Deep Olive. And by the way, the foundation and the concealer are priced at rupees 800, which is very steep for e.l.f. cosmetics. I know all of the e.l.f. products are priced too high, way higher than what I was expecting it to be in India, but that's how it is right now. So yeah, so the shade that I have got is the shade called Deep Olive, and it seems a little bit lighter than my own complexion. So the concealer has a huge doe foot applicator. So I'm just gonna use the concealer to highlight my face, and the concealer shade is definitely lighter than my own complexion, and I think it's fine. Concealer being a little bit lighter is not my problem because I use most of the concealers to highlight my face, and this one has a lot of golden and yellow undertones to it, so it's perfect for the under eye areas. Also, I feel like this concealer has a lot of coverage. While I apply it, it comes off quite thick, so I think this one has more coverage than the foundation. I think this concealer might save up the base today because my face is already looking too dark. So let's see how this goes. So I'm gonna use the Total Face sponge to blend the concealer as well, and let's see how the sponge blends the concealer. The concealer also blends very well. I really don't have to use a lot of effort in blending the concealer, so that's also a great thing. The concealer is drying up fast, so which means the concealer is more of a matte finish. It's not like the foundation. Foundation gave me a lot of playtime to work the foundation onto the face, but the concealer is trying to set in place. So it is definitely a completely matte finish concealer. So that's how the concealer looks after it's blended out. I think the concealer also gave me a moderate sort of a coverage. It's not too fuller coverage. I think you can build it up to a fuller coverage concealer if you want. So which is what I'm gonna do right now. I'm just gonna try and build up the concealer on the under eyes right here. I really like how the base is looking right now. It has covered up most of my imperfections very well without looking too cakey on the face, so that is amazing. I also got a setting powder from e.l.f. This is the Halo Glow setting powder, and the shade is medium rather than a baking powder, I would say. I was really worried if this powder would have those tiny little shimmer particles, but I don't think this powder has those tiny little shimmer particles, which is amazing. It is just melting into the skin and setting the base products very well. Also, it doesn't feel too drying, which is amazing for drier skinned people as well. I really like the finish of the powder as well. It is not too drying. It is giving me that really beautiful soft matte finish without making it look too powdery or cakey. And it sets the foundation and the concealer very well, and nothing looks too made up, which is amazing. But I definitely feel the powder is also slightly overpriced, but the quality is very good, I would say. I was very scared about the shiny particles in the powder, but it doesn't have any of those shimmer particles in it, which is amazing. The next product that I have is an eyebrow pencil. So this is called their Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and the shade is called Deep Brown. And this was priced decently. I think it was about 300 rupees. So that's not too bad for an eyebrow pencil. It's good. And this eyebrow pencil has a dual end. So on one side you have the eyebrow pencil, and on the other side you have a spoolie, which is a must for any eyebrow pencil. So I'm just going to use the spoolie to brush and comb through my brows, and I think this would be a good match for me because it seems quite dark for my complexion. So let's see how a lot of kickback on the eyeshadow, and it's blending quite well as well. So I think I'm gonna really like the eyeshadow palette. Can you see, it just gave me a beautiful wash of brown on the eyes without any powder fallout on the under eyes, which is amazing. There is a lot of pigment to the eyeshadow as well. It's not disappointing me. I thought this color would be a little bit more lighter on the crease, but it's turning out the perfect kind of color that I prefer on the crease area. So yeah, I think I really like how the eyeshadow is blending so far. Now I'm going to take this ashy brown from the same palette and try to deepen up the crease area. So this eyeliner has a decent enough pigment to it. It's not super jet black, but it is definitely a deep black color. The brush tip is very helpful in creating that very thin line on your upper lash line. So I think the eyeliner has done a decent job. It didn't wow me or anything, and it's not too bad as well. It's quite decent. So yeah, that's how I feel about the eyeliner. So guys, I thought I placed an order for an e.l.f. mascara, but seems like I did not. So I used my Maybelline False Lash Lift mascara, and also I added a bit of a bronzer and blusher onto my cheeks. I have one more product for the base, which is the e.l.f. Metallic Flare Highlighter, and the shade is called 24K Gold. So looking at the highlighter, it looks very beautiful. It's sort of like a pale peachy gold color, and it's looking stunning in the pan. So let's just see how this applies on the skin and looks on the skin. So I'm just going to take my highlighter brush and dip it onto the pan. So nothing is coming on the brush so far. So I'm just gonna scrape the top layer using a spoolie and just hope for the product to come through. So I'm gonna take the highlighter again, and yes, now I can see some product on the brush. Let's see how it deposits on the skin. Yeah, now it is coming off on the skin, and it's looking very beautiful and gorgeous. Can you see? It is super metallic, and it's a very finely milled highlighter as well. It's not accentuating the pores too much, and it's very intense. So I think a little bit should do the job. And the color of the highlighter is definitely not on the warmer side. It's looking quite of a cool toned highlighter on the skin, but it's looking very beautiful though. I think I really like the highlighter as well. It's quite a smooth highlighter on the skin, and it's adding a lot of bling to the skin as well. So yeah, I really like the highlighter. We're almost done with this video, just a few more products left. So the next one that I got is the e.l.f. Duo lipstick. So this one is called Day to Night Lipstick Duo, and this was also quite affordable. I think yeah, this one retails for 650 rupees, and it has got two lipsticks, which is amazing. Price of rupees 700, and this is supposed to give you a matte finish. So let's see how this works. So I think the nozzle is really amazing. The mist did not splash in one particular area. It was quite even, and it gave me a nice finish. I think it takes a while to dry up. I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds and see how the spray looks on the skin. So the spray has completely dried, and I think it gives a bit of a natural finish rather than a dewy or a matte finish. So that's great as well, because it can work on a lot of different skin types. And the lipstick is not settling into a matte finish. I think this is how the lipstick looks. It is looking quite creamy and glossy on the lids. So I think it's like an okay product for me as for the lipstick. So guys, this is how my makeup has turned out using all e.l.f. makeup products. I wanted to do this video with you guys in like a chit-chatty way. So I refrained myself from using all of these products even though I was very tempted to use them. So I think the Total Face sponge did an amazing job in blending the foundation, and it's very squishy. I think one of the most softest and bounciest makeup sponges available now in India. This one is a great beauty blender. I really like the finish the foundation gives. It is very natural and it evens out the complexion very well. Only thing is that they don't have many shades available in this launch, so I am kind of disappointed with the shade selection, but the finish of the foundation is beautiful on the skin. The concealer also did a decent job. I would say it gives about medium to buildable full coverage and blends quite easily. The primer though did not live up to the expectations that I had. I was expecting this to give me a beautiful poreless and flawless effect on the skin, but this did nothing of that sorts. I think it just gives a hydrating effect on the skin, which I think you can achieve that with any other regular moisturizer. So I think this would be a skip. If you're planning to buy this for the reasons I said right now, then don't go for it. It's just a regular hydrating primer. I just don't see anything else from this primer at all, so it was kind of a disappointment. I really enjoyed using the eyeshadow quad. They were really smooth and blendable and has a lot of pigment to them and doesn't have too much of a fallout. The Halo Glow setting powder really surprised me. I was expecting this powder to be more on the shinier side, but this did a fantastic job in setting the base and added a beautiful soft matte finish without having those tiny little shimmer particles. And yeah, I think I really like the powder. Also really like the metallic flare highlighter. It was really smooth on the skin. It gives a dewy wet shine to the face and doesn't emphasize the pores too much, so I really like the highlighter as well. And apart from that, the brow pencil did a decent job, just like any other regular eyebrow pencil, and the same goes for the eyeliner and the lipstick. They were not too bad, not too great, so they are right in between, so they did a decent job and it's fine. And finally, the setting spray also did a decent job in setting and melting the makeup onto the skin very well. It just meshes the makeup and the skin together and gives a beautiful natural finish. So it's suitable for all skin types as well, since it doesn't give too much of that stripping matte finish or too much of a wet shiny finish. Those were all the e.l.f. products that I wanted to show you in today's video. I really hope that you guys found this video useful and helpful. It was really fun for me to try out all of these products in front of you guys. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed as well. If you did, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the description box. And that's about it for today's video, and I shall see you guys soon in my next one. Bye!